Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. This is gonna be a little bit of a later stream. Holy crap, dude. I swear my phone comes up with new ways to create new creative ways for me not to be able to get access to my fucking YouTube. It's so fucking annoying. Because Twitch has to pop up like an entire fucking thing to basically tell me how to use Twitch. Now I have to fucking migrate my way around it. I'm just bitching anyways. Let's get this all set up and going. It's probably gonna be a shorter stream as well. Holy crap. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm bitching about my phone in the background. The only way I can see YouTube comments is through my phone. Alright. That should be good. So it's just gonna be a chill little late night special here. We can get this to actually work. That's one of the things I'll focus on getting an upgrade for, is an actual good PC or monitor for my chat and stuff. How you doing, Goon? Well, can you find it? You made it just in time. I'm probably going to be streaming for like a little bit, like in a half hour maybe. Maybe longer. Just getting in some of that 6 time, especially for the Roach City here. See if we can keep going. And for the most part, it's just gonna be, like I said, a very chill night. People who have questions can hop in and ask them, or whatever they're up to. In your case, you're still doing your modding, which is awesome. Depending on if or when my girlfriend comes home, I may be in the Discord afterwards as well. But I have a feeling she'll come home tonight early. If I'm wrong, then I stream longer. So we're doing very good in this city. The last part we were editing out these, changing the formation of our food. Also, shout out to my cat for waiting until 12:08 to use the bathroom after I fed him maybe 6 hours ago. So now he can beat the living daylights out of his litter box in the background of the mic. He wants you guys to hear his beatboxing skills. And it's not like the beatboxing you expect. It's more like beating his litter box into submission. Basically, we're just gonna decorate. Oh my goodness. Something about the world likes to troll me. You may have a similar experience in life, but I don't know why. Noises are my biggest gripe in the world, and no matter what, I can never control the level or the quantity of noises that other people or things put towards me. That's awesome, dude. I'm happy. I feel like I'm always just doing absolutely nothing when I work at my job. Like, how much you're able to get done in just a day of doing that, and kind of sucks my life out a little bit. I'm like, God damn it, I have to be here and fucking... I would have probably streamed a couple hours extra today had I not, like, pass the fuck out. But that was my fault, coming home and like eating and going to bed. Because sometimes my job is just tiring on my ankles. And then sitting in my wooden chair is not the most comfortable experience after that. The old fiend wooden chair that you can hear in every movement I make. Although I don't want to mess with the chair too much, as if I move around too much, I might actually break it. I feel like the squeaky chair lore adds a lot to me, though. That's why I can't get rid of it. Yeah, it's good though. I mean, I don't say this in like a weird way, but more like just as a commentary. But like, if I had my ability to like write stories and actually like follow through with like writing, you know, different things, because I have ideas for like short stories and things. I'm not as particularly good at animating or drawing the things I want, so I'd like to just write them out. And wish I had that time. That's kind of what I would do, spend it like researching the time periods and etc. Yeah, the recliner's tough though. You have to like, I have a chair. Like, I'm not that poor. I have a couch, little like love seat, but I did get everything I own for free, so technically I never purchased it. And the chair just sits way too far back, and I sit my elbows on it, and I have fucking orbital tunnel syndrome. So basically, my elbows turn into mush very quickly, depending on that. So the reason I even sit in a wooden chair is so that I don't have armrests to rest my arms on. And as I'm sitting at my computer, my arms are typically at the side of my body, not on a bent angle, cutting off circulation for tons of hours. That's what gaming does to you. My computer's worst feature is that it has this big, thick wooden, what would you call it, a fucking wrist guard for your keyboard. It does help somewhat to have my wrist upset like a little bit on the wooden piece, but it's like the hardest potential material to have. Besides steel, of course. I think what we want to do after we get this bad boy going is probably make new rations. We have our ration maker over here. We have 6 of them. Maybe we build our own dedicated ration maker over here. And this will be collecting the meat from those zones. Right, we'll put that right there. But that's just me bitching about things in general in life. Hopefully, as I progress down my true path in life, I will be able to, fix a lot of that shit. I'm fully okay if I don't. Yeah, we need that right there. The one thing I wish I could do, and the only reason why I ever consider even getting a Steam Deck, is for the sake of maybe one day I get 6 on it. Or I would just get it immediately. I thought I turned you guys off. I must have turned them back on in the last part. Okay, well that's good. So let's change it over to meat again. Alright, so that should work. And what we're gonna want to have is storage space for those rations to be stored. Some herb space. Alright. Let's get rid of that. So we need to have a ton of storage. I'm quite convinced that we make our way over here and we build storage further over here. We'll let them continue doing that work. How many workers are here? 16 ration makers. We are getting taxes, so when we get a new population boost, we'll be able to actually get better regions. Yeah, we have to wait for this. Once this catches up, then we can potentially have more meat working in here. Why does it say the breeder's only producing such a small amount, though? I don't think they're... at their full capacity here. Because they usually make like thousands. See, that's only making 6. This one's making 23. Oh. Okay. These are this is the base average amount. This is the amount that the noble's giving them. So now that that's up, we just want to keep going with another one. And it's not their favorite shape, but I don't believe it might actually count as... No, it doesn't count at all as shape. So we're okay with doing this, so long as we keep like a rounded shape on the exterior here. And that seems to be pretty good. Quick way we could fix that is just kind of do some of this. You know, do a little bit of that. I'm excited for the mod though, Goon. I hope you don't think that my like inactivity in that sense though is any sign of like my uninterest. I get into like lulls of like life just beating the living crud out of me. And that's just kind of this job. Luckily for me, there's a lot less of the surprisingly for such a simple job, I wouldn't expect it to have such amount of movement. But it is also a designed job to like rip your soul from your body. So I can't expect too much. And luckily for me, I have like such a low position. They basically treat me like I'm stupid. And that's fine by me. Sometimes the worst thing I've learned, and I've recently followed this like philosophy of like that the most unqualified will reach a position of like their least, or rather it's not that they're unqualified, they are qualified in their normal sense, and then they find a position that you're the most unqualified in, and you tend to get stuck in that in life. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, your situation might be different. You also seem to have a much larger space to work with. Hopefully soon I'll be able to move some people who were living with me at like my family, or not my family, but my girlfriend's family, out, and then we'll actually have that room back. Maybe my plan might be to turn that into the streamer room. But my initial idea was that the house I live in, they're renting from, is was going to be shared with a fellow like friend and roommate. He does like YouTubing as well, and it wasn't the intention, but it kind of worked out that way. We both both do actually do alright. He's more successful than I am in his own weird way. But I think I have the niche. Because he's more mainstream than I am. For the lore. But nah, he's a good dude, and I probably will do some stuff with him in the future, like move out, get a new place. Hopefully. Assuming I don't go completely poor. But my ultimate idea is to use the great connections I make through Tubin for fucking my artistic ideas. Whether that be I create characters or my own art or whatever I have to do. That's awesome. You know, that house reminds me of my old house. Like, not my personal house, but like the house that my cousin grew up in. And we lived out there for a while with her. Or I lived with her. And it was this really nice house built like the 1800s. And you'd have all this space. We had 2 living rooms. Like, you know, I was lucky to have a level of like, you know, that kind of privilege, and then other types. And that one was my favorite, because the upstairs living room was always nice. But that house was the most potentially haunted place I've ever been in. Good lord. And, like, you could feel it. I'm not, like, you're usually not that interested in that type of stuff, or it's tough to make me believe it, I should say. But I always was uncomfortable in that place by myself, especially on, like, a night. But there's a lot of stories about it too, so that kind of fed into it. I think the biggest thing right now is that the population is growing. We are not growing our food. So let's set this to 700, right? So all the babies that are being born, they'll grow up, and it'll be good. Because we want to just catch up with the food production here. These guys should be pretty good soon. But I probably am gonna do, like, as I get older, I have to think about, like, what I want to do for housing, especially as I was doing construction as, like, a... Technically, it's the trade that I was trained into, carpentry. I have to be aware and plan, you know, where I want to live if I actually care to have a valid or decent future. I found that having connections to people over other things is not as valuable as just having your own place. The connections start to form and you start to develop a lifestyle around it. It's luckily for me, that was the first thing I did when I got out of high school, was to pursue living conditions over pursuing anything else. That's interesting, Goon. I have a very love-hate relationship with the old wiring. I can never remember. It's tube and wire or tube and something. This old metal wiring. I've got zapped quite a few times by it because my mistake is cutting into it, thinking it's an old dead wire, and it's not. It's a alive new wire with just an old crusty outlining. And they're just as good at shocking you. That's awesome, dude. I mean, I'm praying... Things have downward and upward trends depending on the consistency or the quality of behavior or actions around it. So, I think that Songs of Six and, like, me doing YouTube will have a one-day potential growth to it. But it'll end up having to be a variety of different games in myself. But I do believe looking at the way others do successfully in YouTubing, I think I will do alright. I don't think I'll ever do, like, falling out of control levels, which I wouldn't even fucking want if they offered it to me. But it seems to be like an upward projection for most of that stuff. That's why I recommend it to certain people. Not everyone can do it, unfortunately. It's a little more challenging. Well, that's my girlfriend, so I'll see ya.